Hey everybody, my phone tells me that it is 100 degrees out here. Welcome to the newest episode of Cave Haunters. I'm your host, I'm Hunter. Man, this sucks so bad. It's so hot out here. Something going on behind me? Like I said, we are Cave Haunters. We are your one and only source for all of the information leading up to the 2012 season of the Haunted Appalachian Caverns. Oh man, today we are working on, I think it's called a foam wall panel. We're working with Rob. Again, he's doing another tutorial, another how-to. It's great to be back here on Cave Haunters in this sweltering heat after I took a nice little vacation. But man, I am back, and this is awesome. Stick around. Okay, so we're making the foam wood panel.
Yep.
And what do we have here?
Alright, it's just your basic sheet of insulation foam that you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot.
Obviously at Lowe's with the
Obviously
giant
at Lowe's.
logo.
But pretty much any of your home improvement stores you can pick these up at. About, I think these were like $8-9 a piece.
Fair
And
enough.
that's why we're using these instead of real wood panels. This is way cheaper than wood.
Wait, wood panel. Yeah.
Little time consuming.
So where do we start?
First things always first, take off the plastic before you work with foam.
It's just like a television dinner.
Yes.
You gotta take off the plastic. That no one wants to eat that. Woo!
Yay!
Step one. All right, where do we go from
Later.
here?
Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we'll grab just a little Dremel or rotary tool. This is just a little cheapo we got for working with some foam. And you'll put a little just cutting tool on the end of this. And all you'll do, turn it on. And if you think, depending on which way you want your wood planks to travel, if you're doing this, because some people would do them this way, but we're going to do them long ways for the version we're doing. And a lot of people will draw out lines to make this, but we don't like to because we don't like our wood straight. We like it to look all messed up. And plus, that way, if you mess up,
Imperfection is perfection.
right. But all you're gonna do is you'll guess about how thick you want your wood panel to be, and you'll just start digging in the foam right here. You want to make sure you get pretty deep. Don't want it to be all the way there. Don't go. I usually try to go about halfway through the foam. Is what I shoot for.
Okay, and where can you buy a Dremel?
A Dremel or a rotary tool, you get it once again at any home improvement store, any tool store. Actually, I believe you can even buy those at like Walmart, Kmart, any department store as well.
You might even have them at like Hobby Lobby and like
They probably
Michael,
do.
like craft stores like that.
Anyway, that's what you do there, and that's step one.
So about half of it, like all the way down, you can do about about 4 of
Yeah,
those?
I usually get about 4 planks out of a piece of foam right here.
Okay, and once we've done that, where do we go from there?
The next thing we'll do after that is we'll hit it with some wire brushes. So let's get this section done real quick. We'll get all these lines drawn, and then we'll show you guys how to hit it with the brush.
Okay, so we have our rough lines, very rough lines done now, and now we have wire brushes. They look like toothbrushes for cars. Now what with the wire brushes?
Alright, so if you think about when you see a wood plank that's got all the grain to it, that's what we're going to be doing here. And all you do, just take the brush, and I usually do it like in a little circular motion, about like this, kind of like windshield wipers. So we just start all this up. Every once in a while I'll make like a little circle in it, whatever. Just get everything good and roughed up.
This is to give the illusion of it being pieces of timber, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll just give it a little bit of a wood grain texture to it. And once we hit it with the heat gun here in a little bit, it'll actually, it'll make a lot of these a little bit deeper, and it really will look like wood grain once we get our paint on it.
Oh. So this is this one is a little more hands-on, actually using tools than the burnt wall
Yeah.
panel. That was just a lot of paint. This one is actual, having to do things. And, that's awesome because it's just totally not 101 degrees outside.
Shoo, yeah,
So,
man.
yeah, man, I mean, I just love doing actual work when it's so cool outside.
We're all about slave labor here. What can I say?
I love the caves. Love them. Okay, so we have put the grain pattern in. We've got the lines, and now what?
Next step, almighty heat gun.
Almighty heat gun.
Almighty heat gun.
We apparently worship the heat gun.
We do.
I don't know what this religion that I've gotten myself into is, but there's a heat gun.
You'll understand in just a minute.
Thank God there's a heat gun in the 100-degree weather. Let's go with the heat gun.
All right, but what you're gonna do with the heat gun, you start out first by you're just gonna follow the lines you drew with that rotary tool to begin with,
And we use the words line
roughly.
Yeah.
Because I almost burn it when I come down through here, because it'll make it just a little bit thicker and a little bit deeper, which will make it a lot easier when we get to the paint.
If you can get a shot of some of this burn.
Yep,
Here
right
would
here
be
where I'm
great.
going. You see how it bubbles it all up and it makes that just a little bit deeper? And I really take my time and follow these lines, and we'll get all 4 of these done eventually. But once we get that, we'll take it, we'll go right across the the grains that we just did, and it'll harden them up, make them not so soft, and it'll make some of them a little deeper. I just try to hit it decently even, all the way across, all the way back and forth.
And it's actually adding a little bit more, even more texture to the quote-unquote wood planks. It looks, because it's not. It doesn't just look like foam with scratches in it now.
Yep.
It's kind of got the covering, I suppose. That
I tell you, if
wood
you want
would
to,
have.
touch the basic foam that we've just been working on, and then touch where I've hit with the heat gun, you can kind of tell them what the difference in the feel is like.
Yeah, it's like an entirely different world over here. It's just it's hardened this up so much, and it's coming along nicely.
Working on this, getting to it. You can ask.
We actually had a mistake. We actually knocked off too much of the thing, but that's okay because we can just hit it with the heat gun.
And oh, look at that! It's a knot in the wood.
Yeah, see, what do we talk about? It's we make mistakes on this show, but hey, no man, we meant to do this all along, right? This is just it's a way to cover up bullshit.
It really is.
Yeah, it is hot outside. I don't know if I've mentioned that or not. So we just went ahead and just painted it so it would dry as quick as possible. We went with a what do we got here?
We got basically just like a black, took it right down the lines that we made, to give it a little bit of a shadowed look. And we took a little black and hit some of this texture just on top of the brown that we covered it all with, just to bring out the texture of the wood just a tad bit more. And we got foam pieces sticking everywhere, but it's still kind of a sticky paint here. For all the heat, then again, it may just be the heat that's so sticky.
Yes, that's what it is. It's actually pieces of my life melting away into this thing. Actually, here's our knot that we put in. You can see it's now like a nice little imperfection in the wood. And this thing just it doesn't even feel like it's foam anymore. Like when we used the original piece, it was nice and kind of, I don't want to say soft, but it wasn't this. This is like, if you were to feel this, actually in the cave, you would think that it's actually wood. It's kind of an amazing transformation that has occurred. We have to make an ungodly amount more of these to continue to set up for all of the cave purposes. And hey, as always, there are more build days, and that's every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10
a.m. to 7 p.m.
10 a.m. to 7 p.m. here at the Appalachian Caverns in Bluntville, Tennessee. What purpose would these serve?
These are actually going to be eventually wall panels.
Okay.
They're going to, well, everybody where they're going to be. But they'll be wall panels. We'll make some frames for them to just attach these to, just like you would like the burnt wall panels like we were showing by there. We'll just there'll be walls. I mean, there'll be wood panel walls. We'll probably spray some blood and stuff on them by the time we're done. And a good thing I like doing about these, if you have the same area year after year, but you want the walls to look different,
Yeah.
the foam's a cheap way to go because you can leave the bracing every year and
Nice.
just change out the foam.
There we go. See?
And plus, yes, you will have some people that will get scared, run into this and go through it.
Because it is foam. Foam is easy to break. But that was the latest episode. We're gonna head out in the outro. We're gonna give you guys some wonderful bits of information and maybe like a teaser of stuff to come in later episodes. But Rob, thank you very much for showing me how to make this foam wall panel. It was an amazing experience to watch this transform from something you bought at Lowe's into something that looks real. Like it's pretty awesome. So thanks for joining us again.
No problem, man.
Take care. Well, that was a nice little break being out of the sun, but yay, I'm back. So that was our episode. We sat down with Rob again, and Rob taught us how to make a foam wall panel. That was a very nice experience watching that transform from this simple $8 thing from Lowe's and turning it into what actually looked like wooden paneling. Whew. That's the end of this week's episode, but next week we got a very special episode. We are going to the Rogersville 4th of July parade and actually participating in the parade, handing out flyers, so on and so forth. Maybe doing some more market research. We don't know. But if you're in Rogersville, make sure to come and look for us because nothing says Happy 4th of July like the Cave Hill Asylum. Also, our posters have finally been finished here for the Cave Hill Asylum, the Haunted Appalachian Cavern, so make sure to be on the lookout for those. God, it's so hot I can't even think really. But I'm going to get out of this heat. I'm about to pass out and die. So I'm going to go make some more stuff here for the build, and I'm going to go swim because that's going to be a good change of pace. But as always, I'm your host, I'm Hunter, and I'm here to remind you that death has come to your little town, Sheriff. And you can either choose to ignore it, or you can help me to stop it. Peace out.